What's going on, everybody? Let's see here. We got the mic right here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see who's in here. There we go. We got one person in here. We got one person in here.
Right. That's right. We here.
We got more than one person in here. All right. Yo, how's the camera, guys?
That went from 1 to 20.
How's the camera, guys? Is it clear? Because I was having like a little issue with the camera before. Damn, yo. What y'all thought? What y'all thought about that knockout? Start seeing people rolling in here. Chris Tucker, what up? Raheem, we on. We live. You right. OJ, what's going on? Lil Nush, what's good? 4K T Driller. Con Enigma, what's going on? Albert, what's going on, guys? Did y'all see that knockout, man? What do you guys think about that? What do y'all think about that? Tay Taylor, what up? What you thought about that? WEOTG. Crawford is unstoppable. Crawford's too strong. German, what's going on? Sonny Crook. Damn, what's up? Coach Venice Beach repping. Venice Beach, what up? Did you see the hate on Crawford? I did not see the hate on Crawford. Did you see hate on Crawford?
No.
I didn't see no hate on
Crawford. He's talking about how he was big up in Kell Brook so much earlier.
Brook ain't got no chin no more. Too many wars. That's something that you was saying.
I was saying he's taking a lot of shots. He hit him in the eye too, and that thing is that I guess that plate ain't working. That shit's crazy because he got hit with that shot and was no good after that.
Chris Tucker said Buck clipped him.
He did.
Kodak Black, Spence Crawford. Who you got? Spence and Crawford.
Oof. Anyway, you gonna put me on the spot on that right away?
Spence and Crawford. That is vicious. That jab though. Now, guys, I'm gonna keep it 100. Eddie, did I not call it after I saw the third round?
Yeah, we definitely called it.
In the third round, guys,
chopping jabs. Yeah,
I said the chopping jab. Chopping right hand. I was saying the chopping right hand
from southpaw position.
From the southpaw position. It was coming like a jab. It's kind of like a hook jab because he's torquing the body as he's throwing it. Yeah. And I actually teach that on my YouTube channel. If you guys go and look for how to straighten the hook, check that video out. I actually did a video on that. But he did it, and I seen him land it in round 3. In round 3, I seen it, and I told Eddie, who's sitting right here next to me, and I said, that's going to be the shot that gets him. I didn't know it was going to happen the very next round, though. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it was going to happen the very next round, but I did say to myself, that's the shot.
That would have shot at the very least to set it up. You know what I mean? To set up what was going to happen. Sure enough, it did a little more to set it up. That shit got him out of there.
Now, you saw Crawford out there getting touched a little bit with that right-hand lead. The jab, really. Yeah. I was wrong. The right-hand lead was getting through here and there, but it was the jab. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the importance of the jab, man. Eddie, talk about the jab a little bit as I look through these comments.
Well, look, jab itself, I mean, the importance of that punch, it keeps you, it gets you range, for one. If you need to get it gives you the opportunity to have range. But it also opens the door, sets the table for other combinations, for other shots. And it puts you in position, a good position and a safer position, too. Throwing punches. Like you start with the jab, generally, and it also keeps people on the defensive because it's I don't want to say such a safe shot because any shot could be dangerous if you throw it improperly. But like I said, it starts the ball rolling. Once it starts the ball rolling, shots come off it. And if you can land the jab, you can land the right hand. And they were saying, and I remember in the broadcast, they were saying how great Kell Brook's 1-2 is. So once he starts establishing that jab, that right hand comes behind it, and it comes behind it nice and swift and sharp. So the fact that when Terrence Crawford switched stances, took away his jab, took away the opportunity for him to get that ball rolling. But you seen early how effective that shit could be.
Right.
If Terrence Crawford didn't have the ability to switch, you might be singing a different song.
Right. Because you guys seen that Terrence Crawford, but is it not the same story with him? Because even when
starts slow,
actually when he fought Hank Lundy, which is a guy who I work with, by the way, we fought Terrence Crawford, I think 3 or 4 years ago. If I'm not mistaken. And my fighter Hank had success. He had early success with Terrence Crawford also, and it was the same thing. As soon as Crawford switched southpaw, but then Hank tried to switch southpaw with him. He could do that too, because Hank can actually switch, and he did okay. But I feel like that's where he messed up. He should have stood orthodox.
What I thought Hank was doing really well was being low. You know what I'm saying? Being low and coming more with an open stance, like some sort of like a formless thing. Not just one in one particular position. He was throwing shots from different levels. Right. You know what I mean? Coming over the top, throwing hooks, shots, straight shot, everything. He had Terrence in a weird spot that he didn't know what was coming and where it was coming.
But today with Brook, it seemed like Brook was fighting a very methodical, disciplined fight, and I think like that's why he was having success, but at the same time, that was his kryptonite. Mm-hmm. It was like a double-edged sword. Like him fighting so cautious and careful is the reason he looked good round 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. But it also, I believe, is the reason why he got caught, because after a while, it was becoming kind of predictable what he was going to do. He was going to pop a jab or he was going to throw a straight right-hand lead. And when he went to throw the straight right-hand lead, is when
Terrence, you kind of got a nice little angle. It's like not like he did it purposely. It's just, maybe he did, but it just happened. And it was he said it was the chop and jab from the right southpaw stance that landed perfectly. And he was in a good spot. He's in a good position to do it, and caught him as he was coming forward. That's what really turned it over and turned it into a big shot. Because initially that shot, if he was at range, even at range, and threw it, would have been just like a jab or any other shot. But because of where he was, he had to torque it a little extra. Plus, he was throwing it as he was coming in. And that's like two forces hitting each other. That's what happens.
Now, when you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I was telling Eddie in the back, when Crawford had his gear on, his hoodie on, he had his gloves on, ready to come out. Mm-hmm. Man, he just looked like a guy who won a fight. Yeah. Did anybody notice that? Leave a comment in there if you noticed that. Like, he just looked like he wanted to fight. Like, he was just waiting, like, man, when is it my go? Yeah. And you didn't see that same energy from Brook. Brook kind of was, like, trying to hype himself up, like, trying to get himself in fight mode. But Terrence, man, he just looks like a guy who truly enjoys doing this, and he wants to fight. He is like somebody like who wants to play basketball, or somebody who wants to play video games, or somebody who just wakes up like urging to do it.
Can't wait to do it. Yeah.
That's how he does it, and I just believe that's one of his strong points, because the moment you don't want to box, it's probably the moment you should stop boxing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
That's very true.
Right, but if you wake up and you want to box, because I remember there was a moment when I was training and I was sparring constantly, and I was picking up some fights as an amateur, and I remember going to the gym saying, who am I sparring today?
Yeah, looking forward to
it. I didn't even want to hit the bag. I was like, where's the work?
Yeah, I'd rather just
right. And I know you as a professional, you felt that.
I know it's coming. I gotta do it.
Right. No, but when you go to the gym and you dread sparring.
Yes, I knew that too.
You know that feeling.
Believe me, I know what that's like.
But then there's days that you wake up like, I need it. Like, it's almost like somebody who needs a steak. It's like, that's like I need it.
That's how I felt when I was in camp, when we was training and I was getting ready to fight Tomas. I was like, I want to practice this today. Just think, I can't wait to work on this. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And it was just getting to a point where even though I knew it was going to be long rounds, I was like, I'm having fun doing this shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And that's when you get into that mode, man.
That's when it's dangerous, guys. That's when you know you're locked in, man. Yeah. So for all you boxers out there who are training, you're there when you go to the gym and you're going to spar or you're going to fight. But when I say spar, I mean sparring quality guys. I don't mean like sparring guys that you could beat up on. I'm talking about that guy who you normally would want to not spar, you're like, I need that work today. And you want that work. That's when you know you're there. You know, would you say that? Would you agree?
100%.
That's when you know you're there. That's when you know you're like, okay, I'm here now. I'm ready to work. You know what I mean? So I think Terrence is really always like that. Like when he's ready to fight. Like,
I mean, there's guys.
I'm sure he trains to get to that point. You know.
Well, no, I mean, I think certain guys just relish the idea of being able to go in there and work. It's like certain people just enjoy this particular thing. They like the combat thing. You know what I mean? Like he was telling me the whole thing about what his mom used to do. He probably liked that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hear that? Yo, he said that his mother used to give offer $10 to anybody who could whoop his ass, and nobody was able to do it. But yo, the fact that his mother was involved like that is such a positive.
Hell yeah, because made him, it's that positivity that makes him even want to do that shit even more.
And yo, I don't know if y'all could relate to this, but I'm not getting my ass whooped in front of my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like I might get my ass whooped, but when my mother's there, like, you gonna have to kill me.
Yeah, you got to fight to the death.
You gonna have to kill me because my mother, man, you ain't embarrassing me in front of mommy. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Well, it was me. It was my dad.
For you, it was
my dad, because I wasn't gonna lose, because if I lost, I was gonna get my ass kicked again. And I'm good. I don't need 2 ass whoopings in one day. So I'll just beat this one dude ass and then I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yo, people, let's see what the people talking about. Brook was getting pieced up in round 3. Brook's chin is suspect. By Wolf average, he has skill, speed, but his chin is holding him back. This guy's Raheem said, you teach everything. You teach everything, this guy. Not sure what you mean by that.
No, you mean you teach. You know.
I teach everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Spence, keep moving the goalpost. Let me put that on there because I'm not quite sure. Spence fans keep moving the goalpost on Crawford. Nothing he does is good enough. Shaking my damn head. Okay, so what he's saying is nothing that Crawford does is good enough.
Yeah.
He
said, yeah. I see what he's saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's what fans do, right? I mean,
they support him. You know what I mean? I know it's frustrating, it's annoying to see, but no matter what the situation is, if you're a fan of that guy, no matter what the other guy does, you're still gonna expect him to beat him. So it's like whatever. You know what I mean? All you can do is just be happy with your guy, and if he gets in the ring, hope he wins. That's all you can do.
All right, my man right here, Jay. Thanks, guys, for the videos and commentary. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. All right, that's love right there. You know what I mean? Galena Lotus, thank you for the love. Yeah, Barrett. He seems like a guy who can't stand losing anything. Ultra competitive. I mean. Isn't that kind of like how Andre Ward is too?
Yeah.
Like ultra
Michael Jordan, all greats. Kobe. I know I'm saying 2 basketball players. Don't come at me for that.
Right. This guy gives more effort to basketball than boxing. But anyway, we ain't gonna go there.
That's not talking about that. But no, the reality of it is, anybody who's great, they're ultra competitive. I'm not saying that I'm great, but I am ultra competitive. My brother would tell you, we be in the house playing video games. If I lose, I'm going to play until I damn win. That's just the way it is. Like, you got to have that competitive drive. That's the purpose. And that's one of the biggest things about being in the sport. Don't get me wrong. There's other things like money and all that'll drive you to be that way. But it's the competitive nature that you really, really miss when you leave it. And you being better than the other guys. It's the way it is.
Coach N, do you think Bud switching stances would mess with Spence Jr. like it has with other opponents? Or do you think Spence... I think that it would be similar to what you saw tonight. I think that Crawford attempts it and then has to go to what he's stronger at. I've noticed that Bud is always stronger southpaw.
I mean, I think it depends on the opponent too.
Every fight that he's had, that he's switched back southpaw, it seems like that's when he gets the stoppage. Or
I think that depends on the opponent too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, maybe that was
right, because when he fought Gamboa, I think it was the same thing. He started off conventional, switch southpaw. When he fought Hank, conventional, switch southpaw.
But I think it's the ability he has in both stances. early on showing you tough work on one side, then giving you the same level of work on the other side, it's really hard to adjust to that.
But I just think that the level on his southpaw is a level higher
than his orthodox. I think it's, like I said, it's relative to the opponent. I'm not disagreeing, but I think it's, if, like, say he's fighting an opponent and they're really good fighting southpaws, and he starts off orthodox, having success, then switch southpaw to kind of throw him off, and then he starts losing or he starts struggling. Right. Then going back, then you're like, oh shit, maybe his orthodox is better. Nah, it's relative to what the opponent brings to the table. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may feel more. He obviously feels comfortable on both sides, but he may feel more comfortable orthodox. But that switch is what takes the fight out of the opponent. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So he may feel like, oh well, shit, let me just go ahead and go this way. Right. You know what I mean? And it works for him.
All right. TC puts guys. Oh, Terrence Crawford puts guys to see. Hold on. Terrence Crawford puts guys to see with the orthodox. Let them feel confident, and then he switches, and they don't know how to react. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good analysis. Basically what I said. There.
That's when death comes. I like that.
Right. You know what I mean? Coach Ant, you low-key one of the best coaches on social media platforms. Very dope how you break down the techniques and applications. I appreciate that, Jeffrey, man. Not low-key, high-key. High-key. I'm high-key one of the best coaches on YouTube now. I'm messing with you, man. You know what's funny? It's funny you say that because, you know, I know you guys noticed, like, I put on a couple of extra pounds during the quarantine. You know what I'm saying? I put on. Eddie did too. I think you know what I mean? Our last video, some of y'all was making some comments about us putting on a couple of pounds. Now, it's funny because one of my younger nephews today was like, yo, Coach Ant, man, like, you put on a couple pounds. I was like, yeah, you know, I low-key put on a couple pounds. He looked at me and said, low-key? He said, you mean high-key? Put on the couple. Yo, he destroyed me right there. I was like, oh, man, this is bad. But it's all good. You know, it's quarantine. It's December. It's cold.
I don't give a shit.
This is the best time to be out of shape. You know what I'm saying?
It is, but I don't like being
out of shape. You got to be out of shape now better than any other time. I've been in shape when it counted. You know what I'm saying? I've been in shape when it counted.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be out of shape ever. Not ever in life. So for me, when I heard some of the comments, it wasn't even the comments that did me in, it was myself. When I saw the video, I'm like, God damn, I'm like, ain't no reason for me to be walking around like that. How you gonna be a pro athlete with a belly? No, hell no. I'm not like that no more. So I changed it. I already started my shit. I'm probably like 9-10 pounds down from that video. So
right. Yeah. Couple people complaining about the quality. You know, I'm not quite sure why the quality's acting up right now. But we're gonna look into that. Let me know if you guys are having a real rough time already. Like, one or two people's already said something, but you know, let me know, man, because that's something that I got to look into. Crawford is just flat out better southpaw, not even close. Yeah, not even close.
I wouldn't say it's not even close, bro. I mean, like I said, it depends on the opponent. You get an opponent that can deal with southpaw better, right. And you know what I'm saying? It's the guy he's fighting. I'm telling you, he's good on both sides. Put him in there with a dude that'll kill us, a southpaw killer. Right, guarantee you he'll go back to the orthodox. Because if he knows what's best for him, or he's gonna be getting his ass popped in southpaw. I'm telling you, I know.
Yeah. Look at this dude right here. My man said, "Low key, you fat."
Low key, you fat. How mean is these motherfuckers out here?
You know what? I appreciate you. Because you're the reason that I'm gonna go on my diet, go to the gym, get back right. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason. It's all good. You know what I mean? So there goes my boy Malky Pablo. Yo, that's my boy Malky Pablo, man.
You gonna say high key?
What's going on, baby? My boy Malky Pablo, man. Yo, he's the best on Fight Night.
Oh yeah,
that's the boy. Yo, who plays Fight Night? Who plays Fight Night champion?
I don't want no work. I'm staying in the dark.
Eddie Chambers want that work, Malky. Talk to me, man.
On that new shit, maybe when he got to learn new. You ain't gonna start your career. You ain't gonna finish your career off beating my ass, no sir.
I try to get used to orthodox strictly because I'm righty. It's a bad habit to switch if you're not used to switching. Yeah, I think if you're not used to the opposite stance, you should definitely stick to what you are comfortable doing. If I had to do it again, though, I would learn both stances. If I was to teach a young kid, like let's just say I had a really young fighter, like 8 years old or something like that, I would immediately from day one teach him both stance. If I had a chance, if I had that kind of patience to build somebody up again from that level. But it's not for everybody. Switching is not for everybody. But I think that anything you drill, you can get good at, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I grew up in a time where you stood discipline on the stance that you learned. I would get yelled at if I switched southpaw when I was training. They'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing, man? Get back to orthodox. You ain't no damn lefty. What's wrong with you?" But now it's like, damn, I wish I would have been a little more open-minded because you see the different things you could do from, being able to be orthodox 1 second, southpaw 1 second. I mean, Terrence Crawford is a prime example. And you've been, as of the last recent years, working on southpaw on your own, really.
A long time, yeah.
And you do pretty good. I mean, how do you feel about switching?
Certain things about, like, on the bag, for sure. I mean, that's just on the bag. We ain't talking about competition. But on the bag, I feel more comfortable throwing shots from the southpaw position because I like throwing right hooks and right uppercuts and stuff like that. I feel more powerful and just better in general. Like if you watch some of the training videos we had where I was hitting bags or even on the Instagram, you see a lot of times I'm being in southpaw position because it feels really comfortable. I actually don't feel as comfortable throwing my left hook as I do my right. But in a competition situation, like I said, this is why I said that I think he's good as Terrence Crawford is a southpaw. I think it's based on the opponent. So, like, there's times I've gotten in early in my career. I mean, even with Tomas, you've seen it Tomas kind of later on. I switched a lot. That was out of the need to switch. But early in my career, I would do both because, I mean, I'm fighting guys I know I can beat, so I can kind of practice and work on stuff. And certain positions I felt comfortable. And I think it's beneficial. If you can do both, if you actually can comfortably do both, then you can be as good as two different fighters in the ring. You understand what I'm saying? Imagine fighting somebody and they fighting one fighter, one part of the fight, having success, and then all of a sudden they got to fight a whole different dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A whole different guy, and after like 3 or 4 rounds, and it turned into the whole fight, the whole situation could change.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think that hold on. Eddie was better chubby at heavyweight than when he was burning down the crew. All right, so let's talk about that.
Hell nah.
Let's talk about that. You performed really good as a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Your one performance as a cruiserweight wasn't nowhere what people expected.
I'll tell you why.
Tell us why.
And I don't like saying a lot of this stuff because it's not embarrassing. I don't give a shit about that. No disrespect to people, but I really don't care how people think about me in that kind of situation. But my car was repossessed. My house was in foreclosure. I couldn't get to the gym because my car was repossessed. I probably did most of my training in LA Fitness because it was close enough to my house to get there. When my trainer wasn't able to get from Newark at the time, I was working with Bashir. When my trainer
wasn't me.
Yeah, my trainer wasn't able to get here. And Bashir, I mean, it wasn't his fault.
Bashir's a world-class guy.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But I didn't let it stop me. I still worked my ass off, man. I did a lot. I was putting
hold on.
Work.
This is the pause for some of y'all real quick because a lot of y'all don't know what's going on in the professional boxing world behind the scenes. You guys only see the finished product, right? Oh, yeah. You only see what happens there.
Yep.
Explain to us what it's like to get a phone call to fight. You need the money.
Yeah. 100%,
right?
100%.
Because as you can see, Eddie Chambers needed the money at that particular time. Just like you're talking about a man who made millions of dollars before. So he knows what money feels like, and he also knows what it feels like to be broke.
Yep.
I just know what it feels like to be broke, but that don't.
You know what it's like to have bread. And don't be capping that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
You know you do.
But listen, you got to take a fight when
you might not be ready for.
When you're not ready for. You didn't know who the hell the opponent was.
You know nothing about him.
I was at your sparring events. You were sparring the total opposite of what you
were
fighting.
100%.
Right? Just and
one of the few times I can get to the damn gym, to be honest.
You were training at LA Fitness, which I did not know.
Yeah, I was training at LA Fitness most of the time because we couldn't get over to the gym.
How do you mentally get prepared knowing that you're fighting on national television under those circumstances? How do you say to yourself, it's all good, I could do this? Because most people would say, fuck that, I ain't doing that.
And I probably should have been like most people. I should have probably listened to the advice I was getting from most people. But I felt, and even with Bashir, he was like, man, you sharp. I was still sharp. But I was sharp against guys who were slower than me, who weren't active, who were not really in peak training condition, with the exception of Jesse Hart, who was at the time. But he's a 6'3" lighter weight fighter. Then I'm fighting a guy 5'9", 5'8", 200 pounds that sits on his back foot, low to the ground, like making himself basically 5'5".
Right.
So now I got to deal with that. Who has 107? He had more amateur fights than I did, more amateur experience than I did. You know what I'm saying? So I had no idea of any of these things until I got in the ring. I say till I got into the fighter meeting, and they was telling me, and I'm like, damn.
Talk to the people real quick, guys. I'm gonna try to do something about this quality. Eddie will keep telling you the story. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just with those type of situations, you got to still find a way to adjust. I tried, but it's hard midstream to change. You know what I mean? To kind of change your plan and change what you were expecting to do. You getting pressure from the promoters and you got to go knock this guy out. It's gonna be an easy fight for you. You hearing one thing and then you see another. I fell for the okie doke. I should have known better than that. I got way more experience in this game than to let somebody tell me somebody ain't gonna be nothing, and then they get in the ring and be something totally different. So it's not that I fell for that necessarily. It's just that I didn't understand what I was facing. So I'm thinking that me coming to the ring half cocked, pause, was gonna be enough to beat this guy easily. Was I sorely mistaken? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I felt like he beat me easily. No, I think he had to work for it. But I think there's things that I should have done. I think I should have been better prepared. Should have been better prepared in so many different ways.
So let's go ahead and let's bring that into the Kell Brook situation. So that's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Kell Brook hurt his eye, got hurt in a few fights. Mm-hmm. Is he damaged goods?
Yeah, I seen somebody put that up there too. I think at this point, man, just the reaction from the shots that I'm seeing him take, like he took one real good shot, and that was the shot to put him out. And it was the first one he took. And I'm not saying that it couldn't have happened if he was straight fresh, because he could have been fresh. He could have been, this has been his first loss, and it could have happened. But just from seeing him take that shot and then reacting the way he did and not being able to recover, yeah, I don't like to say that where I just think a guy should retire. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's even that's it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna try something real quick, y'all. I think this is better. Let's try this. Different laptop.
Making adjustments out here. Just like in a fight, ain't it?
All right. Let me X out of here, though. Hey, guys, talk to me. Let me know if you notice a difference. If this is better, let me know. I need you guys to comment below. Let me know if this is better. You know what I mean? Okay. Yes, that's better, coach. All right, we good then. We are good then. Had a little situation with the other laptop. You know what I mean? Got more than one of these babies right here. But some dude wrote, "Ain't no difference, bro." Somebody wrote, "A lot better." Yeah. Nah, you still look low key fat. Yo.
It's mean out here.
Yeah, nah, it's all good, man. I'm cool. But yeah, man, talk to us. So Eddie, keep talking, man. Talk to me.
Boxer brain kind of hitting right now. Now, when we talk about Kell's reaction to the shot, he's just, I don't know if the eye, those eyes, both of them, are damaged to the point where every time you feel something, because you see people after some years after being knocked out or being hurt. You know what I'm saying? they're not able to recover, especially for injuries like that. I honestly, man, I really don't. I don't know. If I was him, I would definitely get evaluated and make sure that there's nothing going forward that is going to be a problem for me continuing the fight. I think he should.
Right.
I mean, look at this. Oh yeah, in 05, had a chubby 210. Man, I was 215, dude. I had 5 more pounds of fat to lose. I know.
All right.
Thanks, though. Yeah.
Roy Jones gonna defeat Mike Easy. Maybe, maybe not.
If he don't get hit,
Brook needs to retire. Okay, right here. There we go. Coach needs to make that TikTok to gain more exposure. Who wants to help me with my TikTok, man? Because that's something that I do not mess with. I know I need to. I'm gonna pick that up though. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But yeah, man. Tonight was good, man. I think this was real good for Terrence Crawford. I think that this was excellent for Terrence Crawford. He got an opportunity to show people that he's still the top dog
100%.
at 147 pounds. Let's be clear. He can't top Canelo yet. He hasn't done enough to top Canelo yet. People are putting him in that pound for pound, the #1 guy. Canelo fought everybody.
That's a good point.
Crawford hasn't fought everybody yet.
You are as good as the opponents you fought for.
Right. So we're gonna say that I'm gonna say that Crawford at 147 pounds is still debatable because he hasn't fought Spence yet. And Spence has fought already.
A few guys, yeah.
Spence has already fought Sean Porter. He's fighting Danny Garcia. He already beat Kell Brook. And we can't compare round 4 for Spence. I mean, round 4 for Crawford and round 11 for Spence. That don't matter because if that was the case, when Ricky Hatton got knocked out in round 11 by Floyd and Pacquiao knocked him out in 2, then that would have automatically have meant that Pacquiao would have knocked out Floyd Mayweather if we were going by those rules. But that's not how boxing works. So what I'm going to say is at 147 pounds, Terrence Crawford is definitely a top guy.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Is he the top guy?
Spence,
maybe.
Crawford.
It looks like he could be the top guy though.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the talent, you look at what he can do. The fact that he can fight on both sides.
He definitely looks like he could be the top guy, like skill wise.
Yeah, skill. That's what they.
You know, talent, dog wise, he's a dog.
Yeah, but Spence is rough, yo. Spence ain't backing off. Spence is, and he's complete offensive. Like when it comes to the attack, my issues with Spence was always like he doesn't have a smooth defense. You know what I mean? And he'll take a shot to give a shot sometime, and I'm not really of that. I don't like that as much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you need to have a solid base on defense as well as offense, and maybe even more so defense. And I know that sounds like, man, you need offense to win fights. I'm like, yeah, but you need defense to stay in fights.
Do you think that who do you want to see Crawford fight next?
I want to see him fight Spence next. That's the
hold on. Spence still got to beat Danny Garcia.
Without a doubt. But what I'm saying is his fight. If I'm not even by no means am I saying he's gonna beat Danny easily, because I feel like that style that Spence has complete put Danny. Danny's in the fight, and he got popped. Right. If he catch you sleeping, you gonna be sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So I still, though, I mean, the fight to see would be Crawford-Spence. I'm just saying that's the fight to see between those two. Now, if Spence gets past Danny, that is a fight that should happen.
Somebody put a good point right here, though. What was the comment? I just saw it, and it just disappeared. I can't find your comment, but I just saw it. But Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. Yeah,
why not?
Why not?
That'll give you another barometer of kind of see. But I mean, but you still can. Styles make fights, man. Fucking he can get in there and end up messing around beating Crawford just because of the way he fights. I mean, you never know.
Right, because he's calling out Pacquiao, and don't get me wrong, Pacquiao's a GOAT. But why are we calling out Pacquiao? All right, let me rephrase. I know why he's calling out Pacquiao. He's trying to get to that bag. We get that. Yeah. But Pacquiao is just, to me, already a proven, solidified Hall of Famer. He should be already looking out. Pacquiao should be doing like Floyd Mayweather runs right now, just just making a couple of bucks, and he wants to fight the best of the best. I mean, if Crawford beat Manny Pacquiao right now, for me, it don't count. That's just me. I'm old school.
You're expecting him to be.
It don't count. So if Crawford beats Pacquiao right now under these, this situation, it don't count to me. Even though Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman. And believe me, I was like, okay, Pacquiao's still that man. But if he would have lost to Thurman, it wouldn't have counted. You feel me? It only counts for Pacquiao if he wins, because at this stage of his career, he's way over his prime, and he's still able to compete because he's that great. Yeah. But if he loses, to me, it just don't count. How do you feel?
But then there's this question: what if he wins?
If he wins, it counts. So it's kind of like
a double-edged sword for Crawford, and it's not fair for him.
It's not fair for Crawford.
So maybe why? And if you were the vast majority of people, and you think if everybody's thinking what you're thinking, then why should he want to fight him? Like you said, though, he's trying to get to the bag.
Because if you lose to Pacquiao, you just lost to Pacquiao. It's okay to lose to Pacquiao.
Not at this stage. Not like you said. Now you say you expecting him to beat him, and if he don't win, it's not impressive.
It's weird. It's weird. See, that's more like when Danny fights Spence. Okay. If Danny beats Spence, they're gonna say it's the car accident.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna say it's the car accident.
But then I say, why did you fight him? You should have fought somebody else first. Why would you go right in with Danny Garcia? That's not a smart move if you're just coming off a car accident. Like, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to see how I feel first.
It's like this. Floyd Mayweather right now. Floyd Mayweather, if he came back and fought anybody and lost, it don't count. To me.
Yeah, but why would you?
To me.
This is why I give Floyd credit for being a smart businessman. He is staying away from anybody that can beat him at this stage in his life, because he knows he's not what he once was.
Right.
So you got to be smart.
But Pacquiao, on the other hand,
he don't care. He's like, I think I can beat everybody. But he still probably feels good enough to go in there and do it.
Wow, man, I got a special, man.
I got a special mindset.
But it got a special. But for the people who understand what I'm saying, all I'm saying is, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, guys like Floyd Mayweather. It was kind of like when Eric Morales. I just put up a post on my Instagram on Eric Morales and Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia beat Morales. To me, doesn't count. You see what I'm saying? Because I watched Morales when Morales was Morales. And Morales was Morales at 122 pounds and 126 pounds. He did fight at 130, 135 or whatever. But when he got to Danny Garcia, come on, man. It don't count no more.
I can't.
It don't count no more. Now, and I like Danny. Danny's my man. I got love for Danny. I see him. We know each other. But come on, bro. We talking about Eric Morales, dog. Like, he's a Hall of Famer at featherweight. Yeah. You fighting him at 140. You dig what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. So I don't, it kind of sucks that Crawford's even calling him out. I think I would like to see Crawford call out, besides Spence, I like to see him call out Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. Who else is in the fucking division? Is that Dan? Sean Porter, Danny Garcia.
I mean, is Thurman still?
Thurman.
He's been chilling recently.
You know what I mean? Those type of guys. You know what I mean? The hungry guys at 147. You know what I'm saying?
The top guys, essentially.
You guys. You got guys. Yeah. My man right here says Bud stops Porter.
That's a tough task, man.
Who stopped Porter?
Task. That's really rough.
Who has stopped Porter?
Rough task. Think about that. That's a hard thing to do. That dude is.
Who stopped Porter for you to say that so convincingly?
I mean, that's hard, man. That is a tough thing to say. Anything can happen in boxing. I see what I get that. But to stop Porter, that's a lot. That's a lot. That dude he's a dog. He will fight. He'll fight to the death. That's my real opinion on that. I don't know.
Right. I'm trying to see what else people are talking about, man.
Stop Porter would be a hard thing to do.
But Yeah, man. I mean, Crawford definitely shook up some things. I'm happy that he did. I'm happy that he's fighting, man. Damn, I waited long enough to see Terrence Crawford fight. You know what I mean? Oh, you got Ennis. Yeah, you guys gonna fight.
Yeah, I can't forget about him.
Yeah, you got Jerome Boots Ennis.
Yeah, Ennis, man.
That kid is.
You know what? You got to watch out for that kid coming up.
Him and Crawford. I hope he gets to that point.
Even right now, if he, man, I just hope nothing stupid happens to him. You know, they don't get hurt or no crazy shit, because I feel like he got future in that division. He got a future pretty much anywhere he goes.
Right.
He's good. He's a good fighter, really good fighter. I don't know how I could forget about that kid.
Right. Yeah, man. So, you know, we got some, definitely got
somebody say something about Lipinets too.
Lipinets, he said don't sleep on Lipinets. I don't know too much about Lipinets.
He's not bad, but I saw the kid he fought coming from Canada. Gave him some work, more than gave him some work. I feel like he might have won that fight. I can't remember the kid's name. I don't remember his name, but it was a good ass fight too. And the kid was good. Good jab, combination puncher, good counter puncher. But Lipinets is not bad. He's in there.
Right. Hold on, let's see what my man said here. When Sean Porter had a belt, he didn't mention Crawford, so why should he give Porter a chance? I mean, when he had a belt, Crawford was still a baby. Like, what was?
I don't know.
Crawford was still
the same weight class.
Yeah, I think Crawford was 140.
Yeah.
I don't know if Crawford was even in the same weight. You know, Sean Porter's like not an era, but he's like a few years ahead of Crawford. You figure Crawford is peaking now. Porter's about to be out the door. He's still lingering around because he's a tremendous athlete, but for the most part, you know, he's about a few years before Crawford at this elite level. So, you know, I don't think that Crawford was ready yet for him to even mention him, even from a financial standpoint either. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't make sense. But you know, I think that's the reason. But I think at this point, you know, you want to fight big names. Sean Porter's a big name. Jared said, "What up, Fez?"
Yo, what's good?
Fights that need to happen: Crawford versus Spence, Lopez versus Davis, Canelo versus Charlo.
Those are all.
I like them all, man. Andrew Peck, I like that. You are absolutely correct. I agree with all of those.
This was the years. This was in the past. We having those, but it's business more now than ever before. So it's gonna be a rough one to get those.
Yeah.
Especially while everybody's in their prime.
Yeah. Could do a Broner fight. Who? I'm not sure. Broner versus who? Was he talking about? Crawford? Oh, he's talking about Crawford. I don't think that's a good fight for Broner.
It's not. He's not gonna come in there right. And even if he does come in there right, he's not big enough. He's not big enough at that weight. He's not a threat punch. He's not a threat as a puncher at that weight. He's skilled. He's talented, but he blew a lot of his chances, man. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie.
Who you got, Canelo or Plant? Caleb Plant.
Oh, yeah. I like Caleb Plant. He's nice. He can box his ass off. But Canelo, man, Canelo. He's tough, man. He's a tough nut to crack. Like pause.
Right. Oh.
I said pause, man. No, but
tough. What?
He's a hard one to beat, man. He's special, Canelo. Looking at when Floyd beat him at the time, Floyd beat him. I mean, Floyd, you know, he's that dude no matter what. But man, Canelo's special.
Exclusive News Insider. Thank you for the donation. Stylistically, Thurman is the toughest fight for Bud.
Might be true. Might be being that he's a big enough puncher and he fights from the outside. He boxes those heavy, you know, hard to time shots. It's like, yo, he might actually be. Other than Sean Porter, I think Sean Porter will be a tough fight for him too because of the way Sean fights. He makes the fight tough for everyone. Right. Absolutely everybody he fights is gonna have a hard fight no matter who he fights. Seriously, I don't care who you are. You could be Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime. Sean Porter gonna come in with his head and his elbows and everything. That's just the way he is. He a tough dude. He gonna make your fight. He gonna make the fight tough. He could be fighting Floyd Mayweather too. He gonna get up in there and try to make it tough on Floyd too.
Crawford being 33 needs to take some easy fights to stay fresh for the big fights later on. What do you think?
Nah, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but unless you want to get those fights in right now and take easier fights later, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what Floyd did. So give me some of them hard fights real quick, and then I'm gonna smooth my way out, make sure I stay undefeated. You can do both, either way.
I got a fantasy fight for you, Coach. Who do you got between Teofimo Lopez and Danny Garcia at 140 pounds?
That is a good fight. That's a good ass fight. I like Teofimo's skill and speed and explosive power.
I don't know how Teofimo takes a punch at that weight. That would be the question.
That's exciting stuff right there.
That'd be the question because Teofimo, yeah, he's skilled and he could punch at 135 pounds, but at 140,
strong.
Danny punching, and he got good timing and he's awkward. So that's Teofimo is a talented fighter. Teofimo is very good. He beat Lomachenko. But at the same time, Lomachenko was smaller. Lomachenko had a specific style that he prepared for that worked for him. I need to see more of Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
need to see more of Teofimo Lopez. Like, Teofimo Lopez looked good against him, but can he look good against more styles and more people at that level? You feel what I'm trying to say? 100%. It's okay to have one good fight. Let's see you repeatedly do it. Danny Garcia already shown where he's at. Win, lose, or draw, you got yourself a hell of a fight. I think every fight that Danny Garcia's lost, he arguably could have fucking won the fight. Or if he lost, he's lost by like a point or two. So, he showed, and as an amateur, he's also showed that he can compete at that high level. So Danny Garcia is very battle-tested, very underrated. Teofimo Lopez is still proving himself, my opinion, even as a world champion. Even as a guy who just beat a undisputed world champion in Lomachenko, Teofimo still got some proving for me to put him up there against those type of guys. Floyd versus Crawford in his prime. Floyd Mayweather, my opinion.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I think Floyd's just, man. He's
let's be honest here. Floyd Mayweather in his prime got arguably the fucking best jab in boxing. Definitely fucking best defense in boxing. Speed, combinations, reflexes, vision, boxing IQ. I can't see Terrence Crawford touching that boy in his prime.
It's gonna be hard.
I don't see him doing it. No disrespect.
Hard. The only thing I can see is if he can have Floyd at range on the end of his shots and not be able to land and not be able to change ranges and because Floyd's really, really good at changing ranges and landing shots close and then being too far away at when it's time for you to punch. So if he could actually keep Floyd at bay, which I just can't see being possible because Floyd is a master.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
That'll be tough.
I know this don't matter in boxing because you can't triangle boxing, right?
Yeah.
You can't do it. But we're going to hypothetically speak. How does Canelo do with Terrence Crawford?
That's a good question.
How does Canelo do with Terrence Crawford? Does Terrence Crawford dominate Canelo?
I don't think so. I think that's going to be a hard-ass fight.
Can Canelo land a punch on fucking Floyd Mayweather?
Obviously not.
All right, and when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo, yes, I understand there was a couple of stipulations like the 152 pounds, 2 pounds. Okay, I can understand. You know what I mean?
How's that got to
Canelo was still learning. Yeah, I get that.
I'll go with that more so.
I get that. But let's also remember Floyd was coming down too.
Yeah.
When Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo, that wasn't the best Floyd Mayweather. Let's just be honest here. That was a fucking damn good Floyd Mayweather. But we talking about the best version of Floyd Mayweather. Best version of Floyd Mayweather is probably Floyd Mayweather like Corrales type. You know what I'm saying? Like
killer.
Like we're talking about Floyd Mayweather peaking. Floyd Mayweather's a 135 pounder.
140 pounder.
You know what I mean? 135, 147. He was just a mature version of himself. which was still a fucking animal. So trust me, man, on this one. Floyd Mayweather beats Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But Terrence Crawford's a monster. Yeah. Terrence Crawford's a monster. Andrade or Canelo? I like that fight.
That's a rough fight.
I kind of like Andrade in that fight for some weird reason, man. I don't know why. I just do.
If he can, like, it's about that range. It's about that range because he's tall. He's mine, straight up, and he can box his ass off, fast hands, everything. It's just about him being able to keep Canelo at bay. Can he do that? If he can, he's winning. And not getting caught with no crazy shit. As simple as that for me.
Hold on, let's bring this back right here because 2 or 3 people said this. Terrence is better at 140 pounds than Floyd.
So this is my opinion. I ain't hating on nothing. I think Terrence Crawford's an awesome fighter, but I don't think he was that better at anything than Floyd. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm just saying. Look, Floyd wouldn't have been beat at any of those weights.
Terrence Crawford struggled with Gamboa, but beat him.
And stopped
at 140 pounds.
He stopped him too.
At 140 pounds.
Yeah. He had a little couple bumps in the road.
And that was Gamboa already toward the end, by the way. What do you think Floyd Mayweather does to Gamboa?
And not get touched either.
Come on, guys. We got to stop hating on Floyd Mayweather. We got to stop that. Floyd Mayweather's, he really is a monster. He's really cut from that cloth that Bob Arum was talking about today. He's cut from that Sugar Ray Leonard and
compare
Durant. Like he's cut from that cloth. Now Crawford is maybe
he may approach that later on. Like we got a little bit more time to see where he goes because he's still got to fight the competition. Floyd fought a lot of guys, and you want to say, oh, he fought him at this time? No. You got to look. He fought a lot of dudes. If you look at his resume, it's crazy. It's crazy, his resume. Regardless of when he fought the guys, his resume is ridiculous. And
he fought more world champions than anybody.
Yeah, and he beat all of them.
Dominated them.
All of them. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. He beat all of them. You know?
Right. A lot of people don't like to give Floyd his credit. Look, guys, if you guys watch my YouTube channel, and I'm assuming you do if you're here.
I see somebody say Floyd ducked.
I'm assuming you do if you're here. A lot of the stuff that I teach, Floyd Mayweather does. You know what I'm saying? He does show the rope, bends the waist, step back, drop, utilizes his jab, right hand leads, setting up gazelle lead hooks. I mean, come on, man. Floyd Mayweather's amazing.
He had become undisputed.
Floyd Mayweather's amazing.
You see somebody put the Gamboa fight was at 135. Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
And the Floyd fight, at
135, Floyd was even more of a monster.
And he said why he didn't become undisputed. Why?
Yeah. I love Floyd. Pause.
Yeah. I'm glad you paused it. That's a good pause. Bro.
Very good. Look. This one's good right here. Floyd ducked Costa Zoo.
Yeah. I love Costa Zoo. I remember watching him fight, man. He was special in his prime. But I make no mistake.
Not a good fight for Costa Zoo.
He's not gonna beat Floyd.
That's not a good fight for Costa Zoo.
I love Costa Zoo, like how he was able to reload his right hand, and he was nice. He could fight, but he's not beating Floyd.
He's not on his best night, but he could fight.
He could fight his ass off. Great, all time good.
Nah, not beating Floyd. I wish. Don't you wish you could just go back and make those fights happen and put money up? I wish I could take this guy Connor Highland and say, Connor, I bet you any amount of money, and we could just make the shit happen. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't. So it's your opinion versus mine. But he doesn't beat fucking Floyd Mayweather. This does not happen, bro.
He's a great fighter, though.
He does not happen.
He's not beating Floyd. Not at all.
When was the last time you sparred, Coach Ant? When I had the gym open, right? Yeah, when I had the gym open, I sparred a couple of my amateurs. But I haven't done no real high quality sparring, man, in a number of years. But I used to spar my amateurs, and my amateurs who actually compete, though, not guys who don't fight, but nothing crazy since probably when I was competing, and that was probably like 10 years ago. But when I owned the gym for 10 years, and I would spar, my amateurs just to get them and give him ideas of what I want from him, and you know what I mean, stuff like that, but nothing serious.
Yeah. Somebody put all of these are a matter of opinion. Or it's just a matter of opinions.
Yeah, everything's a matter of opinion. Everything's opinion.
It's options. I'm sorry.
Okay. Floyd's the grandmaster. I agree. Floyd is the grandmaster. Listen, if boxing had a karate system, Floyd would be the grandmaster. Look, Eddie Chambers would be like a 3rd degree black belt. Okay? He'd be like a 3rd degree black belt.
I'll take a 3rd degree.
Floyd Mayweather would be like a 4th degree black belt or some shit like that. He would be 1 level or 2 levels higher than an Eddie Chambers type guy. But Eddie Chambers is a 3rd degree at least at bare minimum.
You know what holds people back from, like to say, if it was a belt system like that, would be accomplishments. And for me, it's been rough because being a heavyweight is a different animal than being in any other division. You don't understand. Being in 147, or let's use the welterweight division. The welterweight division has 2 neighboring divisions that are close. You're not successful at one, you lose a little bit of weight, you'll be the bigger man in a smaller weight class. With the heavyweight division, if you were my size or even a little bit bigger, it's kind of hard. I can go down to cruiser and try to dominate cruiser, but there's no money there. In the lighter weight division, there's money in every division as long as you got a popular guy. I have to fight the likes of Klitschko, Joshua, Tyson Fury, Wilder. Now the other ones I can beat, I feel like I can compete with. You know, the Wilders, the Joshuas, and things like that. Even though they're big and they're strong and they're menacing and they're dangerous, and I can compete with the Klitschkos and the Furies and stuff too. But how successful will I be? And will it be enough? Me being competitive? No, because at the end of the day, there's so much I have to do and have to deal with just to be in the fight, not to dominate the fight. I've dominated big guys. I'm not saying I haven't, but it's really tough. So I would have to be a grandmaster. I'd have to be a wizard. You know what I mean? I'd have to have magic on my side to beat a lot of these guys and stay on top. The great Nazim Richardson said to me, God rest his soul, he was like, I think you have the ability to win a world title without a doubt. You could be a great heavyweight fighter, but reigning as heavyweight champion is going to be tough because fighting those big guys back to back to back, all they got to have is one little wrinkle to their style that's difficult for me to deal with. And it may not be impossible, but it's going to be hard. And to stay on top is harder than getting a fight and winning a title and being on top once.
Right. But when I do the belt systems, I more look at it like when I say I just say accomplishments.
It has to be part, yeah.
Like in your division. So for you, since you fought for the world title, that automatically puts you.
No, I feel like I'm
at a very high level.
Yeah.
But like it's very difficult because you're talking about weight classes now. Weight classes changes the game. But the smaller weight classes also has
they have difficult issues.
They have issues to overcome also, like a lot of punches to deal with, speed.
But those are skill sets.
A lot of fighters to fight. But a lot of different. You know what I mean?
And that's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
But those are things with your skill set. You can overcome certain aspects with how you develop and understanding, okay, well, this guy's a little bit too fast for me. So I'm just going to have to be closer or be busy or crowd him or make him uncomfortable. And you can find ways to win fights when guys are your size. There's other options.
You could be like a grandmaster.
And still lose.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could be a grandmaster if we were going off the karate system. And we're still talking. We're still. How many of y'all still even listening to this? Like, no. But you could still be a grandmaster. I would consider you a grandmaster, small heavyweight.
Yeah.
And when you fight,
you see how you classified it?
No,
and I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that. That's true.
I feel like you're a grandmaster for the small heavyweight. So like you. Chris Bird, Mike Tyson, guys like you, you guys who had to overcome size, pause. You guys are grandmaster small heavyweights, and then when you fight these fucking huge heavyweights that are maybe just masters, but when you fought Klitschko, you were fighting a grandmaster, big heavyweight. And you were a grandmaster, small heavyweight, and the bigger man typically beats the smaller man. Pause. Thank you. All right, so you're a grandmaster then. Sorry, he's not a third degree. He's a grandmaster. He wanted me to call him a grandmaster.
No, I'm not trying to say, no, I agree with that. But I'm saying, when we talk about being able to do things, I honestly feel like there's not anything that...
Let me chill for a second. Let me ask you a question, Eddie.
Okay.
I'm listening. You as a...
Get this damn wire out of my face.
Yes. I'm going to chill out. You as a guy who weighed 200 pounds, 210 pounds.
Yeah, let's just round it off.
And sometimes you fought guys weighing 250 pounds, right? Yeah, typically. What's the heaviest guy you ever fought?
Heaviest guy I fought was 300 pounds. Around the neighborhood, 300 pounds.
He fought a 300 guy. 300.
I know 300 pounds.
Yo, how did you feel going in the ring with a mother 300 pounds? This must have been when you went to the UK.
It is when I fought Carl Baker, my man. I like Carl Baker. Carl Baker.
Okay.
You know, and he wasn't no bum either. Like, he knew what he was doing in the ring.
Nah, Brian, let me ask you a question. When you see a welterweight bitching about 2 pounds,
2 or 3 pounds,
what do you say? Like you don't understand it because you don't have to cut weight, and maybe you don't understand that side.
Oh no, there is that. Oh, trust me. Let me tell you. Let me give you this little thing about me. When I fought early in my career, because you're still learning your body, still understanding stuff, I fought a lot of fights, overtrained, tired, weak, having to fight big ass, heavy, strong, tough prison dudes sometimes coming at me, and had really very small amounts of strength left from the training I was doing. So trust me, don't get it twisted. I understand what welterweights and all lighter weight fighters have to go through, but you will never see a 115 or 110, no, let's say 105-pound dude fight Floyd Mayweather at 147. You're not going to see that. It's not going to happen. Now they say, oh, well, body mass and all that stuff when it gets 200 pounds is not nowhere near the same. I'm like, I get it. But so you're going to tell me my size being 205 pounds, Paul, versus somebody the size of Vladimir Klitschko being 6'7", 244 pounds in shape the night of the fight, or maybe the day before the fight, probably like maybe rehydrated, maybe the 246 or something like that, is fair to me going in there with the knowledge, the professionalism, the corner that he had, the experience, everything that he has in his favor. And all I got is talent over him.
So when you hear people say, like the Canelo Floyd Mayweather thing, 2 pounds, how big of an issue was that?
This is.
We're talking about a guy that has trouble cutting weight, and he's trying to get that last 2 pounds off.
Now I know that's hard. I understand how difficult that is.
All right.
Trust me, I get it. But imagine the dude standing in front of you, and you got to figure out how to get past his arm is as big as your legs. Pause. 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 No, but real shit. Think about it.
Right.
And then when you do decide to get inside, now he can lay it on top of you, pause.
Right.
And then when he doesn't do that, when you're trying to figure it out, trying to get past the length of his arm, pause, this has got to stop at some point. But, and when you do, when you, even if, and then you try to fight, like I said, you try to fight at range, then he starts to use his jab, probing his jab, pause.
Yeah, I got you.
And putting his arms on you, pushing, using slightly illegal tactics, but everything is favored to him. How do you deal with that? But then I'll take a 2-pounder at 147 all day long, or 154 all day long
before you deal with
before I got to deal with that crap.
Right.
You can't compare the two. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's like, look at
John. Are these two guys? Look at the picture he got though. That's funny.
You really said that?
Yeah.
What?
Come on, Johnny.
Pause?
You can't joke on me with your eating.
You know what his name is? Johnny.
Look at his name is Johnny. You can't do. Look at your picture, Johnny.
His name is Johnny. You know Johnny. Think about it. He's another one of them damn Johnnies. I can't believe you said that shit.
That's funny, man. Who was the best fighter who Eddie fought?
I mean,
Who's the best guy he fought? Obviously.
I mean, the most accomplished and the toughest one that I had to deal with was Vladimir. Talent-wise, I mean, Vladimir's talented too. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't talented, but when he got to with Emmanuel Stewart, they made him into a machine that just understood how to fight properly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, how to use his size and pause and different things like that properly. So,
we open up the floodgates for trolls right now. I'm telling you.
These two guys lovers?
He loved to see Eddie versus Fury. Let them
we
know
had some legendary sparring sessions.
Let them know. Let them know how close you are with the Fury team.
That's my man. Those are my people. They actually took me over to went over to England with them and spent a whole year with them. It was after he was dealing with that hay debacle where he couldn't get him in the ring, and he was like, "Man, you're so good. You got all these different abilities. Why don't you come over, man? Work with us. We'll put you in the position to make you a champion, no doubt." He definitely did. Peter Fury and Tyson Fury was instrumental in getting me that point. But it's just like once people see you motivated, they see the fat come off, and they see all of the things you're doing and how dangerous you become. They start saying, "Well, we don't need it." You know what I'm saying? They'll talk all that crap before, but now they don't need it.
Coach, can you roll a right hand from a taller orthodox fighter? When you say roll, are you talking about a shoulder roll, or are you talking about rolling under? I'm not sure which one you mean, but can you roll a right hand?
You're talking about shoulder roll.
Yeah.
Because when you're the tall guy, with a tall guy, you can all. But of course, you can definitely roll under it if you talk.
I would probably, if I'm fighting a taller guy, I'm probably gonna roll under that shot, or I'm gonna bend the waist, or I'm gonna slip, or I'm gonna do something like that more so than a shoulder roll. You got that top of the head, you know what I'm saying?
See, look what he said. You see what he said? Every time you say pause, you sound mad.
He's a shout out from the Bronx, though. Big shout out to Johnny, man. One more time. Let's give it one more time for my man. What is in his mouth? Pause. Like, what is going on, though, Johnny? You my man, though, Johnny. I fuck with you, man. You're a cool kid.
You can't have that picture, though, talking that shit.
We got Brooklyn. Cody was good. Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah. What did Usyk weigh versus Chisora?
I don't know. What did he weigh?
I don't know, man, but I know that he was giving some problems to
Usyk. Yeah.
He was giving some problems to Usyk, man. I want to see Eddie fight Usyk, man. I don't think you understand.
These dudes probably like, you crazy?
I want to see Eddie fight Usyk. Eddie could beat Usyk, man. Trust me on this one. But Usyk, he's active or whatever. But prime Eddie beats prime Usyk, man. Well, hands down, no doubt about it. I don't know, man. I think we've been on here for a minute, man. What do you guys think? We're
going to be on just for a little bit because it's late. Yeah, they're right. I knew that shit wasn't going to happen, bro. But nah, it's I like this stuff. You already know. But we good. I mean.
Yeah, that's it, man. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love and support. I appreciate the funny guys on here. Hold on, I'll give Eddie one more. I give Eddie one more chance to answer a question.
That's a tough fight. You know why that'd be tough? And I still think I can. I'm not gonna let him hit me with that shit. That's just my opinion. I'm not letting him hit me with that shot. But it would be hard because he's so awkward. He's an awkward fighting guy. Like, he doesn't have a particular style. He just swings for the fences. You know what I mean? At times. But once, after a few rounds, understanding where he's going to be, what he's going to do, I feel like I could pick him apart. Just got to stay off of that right hand side. Right. And you know what I mean? Stab him to the body. Get closer and not be worried about, you know what I'm saying, trying to get through the range. Because I don't think for him it's as big a danger as trying to get through the range. You understand? It's staying at long range pause that really hurts people with Wilder. And thinking like, you know how like I put my hands up high and I walk guys down? It would just have to be at a faster pace. And I would have to be keying on where that right hand is at all times. When I fought Dimitrenko, he had a really, really good counter left hook to the body. He stopped, I can't remember his name up to at this point. Tony Thompson beat him with a good body shot off of a counter, good left hook to the body, and a good counter left hook to the head. When I realized it, and I watched a little bit of video of him, I learned a little bit about it before I fought it, I watched for that. Now I didn't stem my work, my fight plan or anything just to avoid that particular shot, but I did work it in, and I made sure I kept an eye out for that particular shot. And it's the same difference if I was in there with Wilder. If I had to get in there with Wilder, it would just be on the other side. I would have to stay careful and make sure that right hand didn't catch me sleeping. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't have. I mean, anything can happen in boxing, but I'm not going to put myself in a position to let a guy like that land that shot that he's looking for. Why give him that? Make his other hand beat. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved the opportunity to prove myself and see if I could, beat a guy like that.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all already know, man. Appreciate the love and support. We're going to be dropping more stuff. I got more YouTube videos coming to you guys, man. We're going to be teaching the craft. I got something really major that I'm working on right now behind the scenes that we're going to be releasing. Either it's going to get released later this year or early next year. And it's really, really, really going to be an in-depth way to really help you guys improve your boxing. Guys, if you haven't went to the website, check out my website, www.coachanthonyboxing.com. Guys, invest in yourself, man. Get the courses, man. We got so much information in those courses. I mean, listen, my YouTube channel has a lot of great information, but when you get these courses, it's different because we get in depth. We focus on everything, man, from the Philly shell to how to create angles to the counter punches to the combination videos that I have, the defensive principles 101. Just Eddie, talk a little bit about, you being involved in all these videos that we've shot. Just how valuable, and this ain't just trying to like gas you guys. No. This is fact. Like, talk to people.
It's like this. I would find benefit from it. There's mad fighters that watch what we do.
Okay, hold on. I'm not even going. Listen, this is how y'all know this is real. Don't say the name.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not even.
But what happened today? What kind of phone call did I get? And tell him the level of professional fighter that he is.
He's one of the top fighters. I don't say one of the top fighters in the world, but he's a contender. He's a top contender. He's about to have a huge fight. And what did he do? He called Ant for some valuable information. He wanted to pick his brain. So if somebody's asking to pick a guy's brain,
what did he say right before that? Listen, guys, I don't make this up.
He said.
What did he say before he asked for the information?
He said, "I've been watching your content. There's a lot of information. I've been using a lot of these things. I've been wondering, damn, would I be able to use some of this in these fight situations? How about this? I'll just talk to the guy that knows what he's talking about, obviously, and pick his brain, see what he can give me." And it's like, guys like this, it's all over the place. People are watching what we're doing because they know that it's quality. Fighters know. Maybe guys who are lay fans don't really understand it quite as well. But fighters know game recognizes game.
Right.
So if you see somebody doing some stuff and you really, really mess with it, you're gonna ask some questions.
So yeah, it's crazy to me. I had somebody at a high level who's fighting for a big fight. I can't ruin, any of that right there. But called me, basically said, "Coach Anthony, I watch all your videos. I love what you're doing. I love what Eddie's doing." Asked us for our advice for his upcoming fight. Asked me if I can consult him from afar. And I'm okay with that. He has a trainer. I'm not looking to step on toes. I just want to see the guy win, So I'm just letting you guys know, man. Go to the website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. If you can afford it, invest into yourself. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I will be dropping more heat for you guys this week. And you already know, man. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. You already know. Boxing Life.